Hello everybody, this is George, your 60-year-old carnivore friend from Bridgwater in the county of Somerset in England. So my first check-in for a couple of weeks, and it's been a fairly interesting 2 weeks to say the very least. So this is the latest chapter on mine and Lainey, my wife's carnivore journey. As many of you know, my journey started 3.5 years ago when I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes and morbid obesity. In the 3.5 years since, I have managed to lose, reduce from 293 pounds to 173. So I've lost 120 pounds, and in the process, I've been told by the National Health Service that I'm one of the most spectacular success stories in reversing type 2 diabetes that they have ever seen. Lainey's own journey on carnivore is about cancer. For in September of 2022, she was diagnosed with breast cancer. And went through the entire treatment of poison cut burn, in other words, chemotherapy, mastectomy, and radiotherapy. And since then, has been on a continuing journey. For the biopsy of the mastectomy, showed that she had Paget's disease, and Paget's disease is a very rare and very dangerous cancer. So she has then been had continuing treatment with a oral 2 years worth of oral pill taking, a bemis-cyclib, which is basically known as oral chemotherapy. But that ended back in September of this year, on the 9th of September. And she was then eligible for a new study drug called elacestrant, which is produced by a company based in New York. And this is part of a 5-year randomized control trial. There were some question marks over whether she would be eligible for it, but she has indeed been given the green light to take part in this 5-year control study, randomized control study, an open label, so we know what that she is, which side of the study she is on, and we are grateful for the fact that she is actually on the new study drug called elacestrant, and she started that on the 9th of October, so just over 2 weeks ago now. And so she has to take a daily pill, which is quite a large pill that she has to swallow. Takes it in the morning. We were told to expect side effects initially, and indeed she got those, which was nausea and diarrhea. However, she was given some other pharmaceuticals to help with the side effects of the initial drug, and for a week or so she did suffer some of the side effects, but has since basically those are cleared up, and she's got her energy back, and she's doing fine now. It's going to be a 5-year. It's a long haul, a 5-year study, but we're ready for the fight. She's ready for the fight. We are ready for the fight. So that's the update really on Lainey's cancer journey. It's positive. Her energy is back. Good news this last week. On Monday she had blood tests to see where she stood, and also had an intravenous bone infusion with IV bisphosphonates on Wednesday. So on Wednesday she had the IV through a cannula in her hand. And later that evening, she got a phone call from the doctor down in the hospital to give her the results of the blood test. And he was very, very upbeat. He said that the blood tests for somebody in her condition were just about as perfect as they can be. So it shows that a very wise move of switching to carnivore to eliminate glucose from her diet is helping her. For basically, as we know, cancer can only feed on glucose and glutamine, so she's removed the glucose element. The glutamine, obviously, we can't do much about because it comes from amino acids, but her essentially carnivore diet has definitely helped her to get the bloods. In the long term, she also has lymphedema, which will mean that she will have a compression sleeve for the rest of her life, having lost, I think, 18 lymph nodes from underneath her left arm. So the lymph nodes cannot now cope, so she has to have assistance with that. But yeah, it's upbeat. Basically, she's got the energy. On Thursday, we had Storm Benjamin here in the UK, and maybe crazily, we decided to go for a walk in the storm up on the hills, and we did. And having just had the IV the previous day, Lainey had no problems at all, and it was really quite elemental being out in the storm. Probably not a wise idea, but it was. We got wet, we nearly got blown away. We found some interesting fungus, no mushrooms, unfortunately. Found some very colourful ones, the fly agaric, for example, and it was just a good day out, really. So that brings you up to date with Laney's story. So other things to mention from the community, the carnivore community. I'm very glad to say that I am a member of Healing Humanity now, and also of the Kilt's Mighty Tribe. So Dr. Kilt and the Healing Humanity team were very much part of the agenda. I gave up my day job back on August 15th so that I could focus on basically work within the carnivore community to try and spread the word, to try and build community. So the KMT has proved very, very good at that. Great fun people. I'm now a certified Kilt's Health coach, which is good news. And also, I'm very much involved with organising the meetups here in the UK. The biggest of which we had in August, which was the Great British Meetup. And we had a full committee on that, including Carl Day, who was the finance officer for the operation. And I'm very pleased to report that we can now close the books on the fundraising that we did for Healing Humanity. We raised $1,396 which we were able to transfer across to the Healing Humanity team. And this week, Adam Lacey of Healing Humanity actually confirmed that it has all been received, and we can now close the account on that one. So that's good. The next Great British Meetup will be on June the 13th of next year, and we will start the process of the financing of that again in the new year, probably when we get Christmas out of the way and we can actually get the committee back together and get the Great British Meetup up and running again. We will have the same caterer this year in the same location, so we have a good template. Things will change slightly, maybe more speakers this year, or maybe a longer time. We hope to have a couple of Americans coming over to speak. Dr. Kilt has confirmed that he wishes to come and speak, as has the lady with the fantastic story, Angela Lero from Los Angeles. Not to mention the fact we have our very own carnivore muscle, Jonathan Griffiths, who will be a keynote speaker, and there will be no doubt other speakers as well. So that's the news from the Great British Meetup and the news from Laney's cancer journey. Storm Benjamin this week nearly blew us away. That was great fun. So Laney has now joined the KMT, the Kilt's Mighty Tribe, as well. And for those of you who aren't members of the KMT, but I can highly recommend it because it's free. You just have to put in Kilt's Mighty Tribe into your search engine. It will you can call it up that way. It will probably direct you to the app, and the app is the best way of actually getting onto it. We have a chat forum. We have weekly events, including a free Zoom call on every Monday evening. You have the option of increasing your level of involvement. There is a $10 a month fee, which will get you the Zoom call on Tuesday evening. I will be giving the lecture on Tuesday evening along with Dr. Nelson this coming Tuesday. And there is a premium $30 a month, which also gets you into the specialist Zoom call on Thursday evenings. So you will then have the full Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday Zoom calls with specialists and experts and everything that goes with it. However, I must stress that the KMT itself is actually free, and there are other various events. There are courses, the Kilt certification course and the Kilt 30 Days to Carnivore course, which are very good in their own right. The core team of the Kilt's health team is Dr. Kilt himself, Dr. Nelson Vasquez, who is a medical director, and Alia Wells, who is basically everything. She is the public relations, the podcast administrator, and the glue that holds the whole of the KMT together. So I can highly recommend that you go and join that. Lainy has just joined herself, and she's very much active in it now. We, as the original coaches, have channels quite across the board, and there are some great fun lives. The live chat shows are highly interactive because you can talk live in chat, or you can actually quite often be invited to join in on the screen. For example, on late night Friday into Saturday hour time, Coach Juliet Edens and rocking coach Amy held a pajama party on screen, and I found myself dressing my dressing gown at 0100 hours in the morning here in the UK, joining in the pajama party, as did the incomparable Charger Mopar Rick Rodriguez from Florida, as did Papa Carnivore as himself, and Sharon was on there as well, and then Kelly joined us later, and there was very active chat, and we had great fun, and it was 2 hours long, but it went the 2 hours went very quickly. And there are plenty of other lives very similar to that. Target Prime Rib, Thomas Pruitt does plenty. Bob Angle does Carnival Talk on Monday night here in the UK, Monday into Tuesday. I think he does it 8 p.m. his time. And then on Tuesday evenings, here again into Wednesday here in the UK, the incomparable Russ Mitchell, Homesick Buckeye, hosts Keto Cookout, which is basically it's an informal chat show where the object is to have fun and to learn absolutely nothing. But inevitably we do, because it tends to we tend to do talk about some stuff that we can learn from. But it's really all about the family, as he calls it, getting together just for a chat and a bit of a party, really. A lot of comedy stuff in chats. He goes through the chat and includes everybody who isn't on the screen but is in chat. But you can get on the screen if you wish to. I do occasionally, but I leave it to others most of the time. So that's the KMT. So anybody who is in the carnivore community out there who isn't a member of the KMT, I can highly recommend that. And you might want to think about healinghumanity.life as well at $30 a month, because that gives you full access to the Healing Humanity team, and it's well worth the money that you'll put up. And there are lots and lots of Zoom calls, consultations with experts, and with Coach Lisa Pickard on a regular basis. So yeah, I can highly recommend that. Right. So what else? Other news from a social point of view here in the UK. We've had a very, very active 7 days, in fact 8 days technically. As some of you may know, I am doing a restaurant review. I've been inspired by the Michelin guide and the Egon Rone guide, and I just think that we need to get out there as carnivores and go and survey restaurants, preferably steakhouses, such as the Brazilian steakhouse I keep on hearing so much about in the United States. However, I am identifying restaurants near me, and last Friday night, Lainy and myself visited the Old Vicarage restaurant here in Bridgwater in Somerset, which has an impressive grilled steak menu. And I had an excellent 10-ounce ribeye, and Lainy very much enjoyed her meal as well. I did a Facebook article on it, so you can actually see the results of it. It was very, very good, cooked exactly as I wanted it. I asked for blue. They said, blue. They said, no, we can just do very rare. So at least they were honest with it. It was a very fatty 10-ounce ribeye. Very good service, and an excellent cheese-only platter afterwards as well. So that was a good experience. However, the next day was the most memorable one, because our friends Sam and Nadine live in the county of Gloucestershire, which is an hour and a half away from us. And they invited us up because they found this what they thought was an amazing place called the Longhorn Bar and Grill, which is kind of in the middle of nowhere, really, between the towns of Tewkesbury and Cheltenham, on the Teddington Hands roundabout. The Teddington Hands is a pub on that roundabout, and the Longhorn Bar and Grill is pretty much next to it. Didn't quite know what to expect. Very pleasantly surprised. Walked very good parking, a nice welcoming entrance onto a lovely patio for the summer with a huge barbecue and grill. And then we entered. We were met by a French maitre d', a French manager. We exchanged pleasantries in French, and I'm always encouraged when I know it's a French maitre d' because they have a much better training structure over in France than we do here in the UK when it comes to hospitality. The whole experience was absolutely amazing. Sam and myself very greedily both had a 1 kilogram, 2.2 pound T-bone steak. Very, very expensive, shall we say, but well worth it. They cooked it perfectly rare. We got the sides as well, but because they weren't really aware of what carnivores were, but most of the sides went back, and I think our French maitre d' did eventually grasp the concept of carnivore, and he looks forward very much. He thinks we're a great movement. He very much looks forward to more people from the carnivore community going and visiting him. I think he will be less surprised when you say no sides, please, in the future. And by the time the cheese came, he knew not to bring the crackers or the fruit or the celery or anything. So I got a lovely plate of cheese only. So yeah, the Longhorn Bar and Grill. I think it could be certainly the regional HQ for South Wales, the Midlands, and for Southern England. And I certainly hope that we can actually go back and have more meetups there in the future because it's well worth it. You don't have to have the huge T-bone. They do plenty of ribeyes, sirloins, and other steaks there as well. But it's a special place. It really is. So that was most enjoyable. Right. So now on Friday night of this week, one of the most unexpected things of the carnival community came to light because we're a very varied bunch of people around the world. We have a group, as a group, we as a family, we have some incredible talent out there, but including musicians. We have multimillionaires. We have blue collar workers such as myself. We are, we're not, we don't have a hierarchy as such. Obviously, we have our doctors and we have our more famous people such as Kerry and the Healing Humanity team. However, there is a fantastic musician out there called Chris Lloyd, who is one of the founder members of the Eagles tribute band Talon, who have been touring since 1997, and they go from strength to strength. They are doing a multi-month tour of the UK at the moment, and they came to Bridgwater in Somerset to the Macmillan Theatre last Friday night. Chris very kindly reached out to me and said, George, I follow what you do on Facebook and what you're doing on YouTube. He said, I would love you to come along as you and Lainy to come along as my guests for Friday night. So we did. It was amazing. It really was. Chris greeted us in his own dressing room beforehand, and we went and enjoyed the performance. And I've forgotten just how much I really, really enjoy the Eagles. They've done a lot of stuff over the years, and everybody thinks of them as Hotel California, but their portfolio is much deeper than that. And quite frankly, when Take It to the Limit, I heard the interest Take It to the Limit, I was almost overcome with emotion. I just love that song. Peaceful, Easy Feeling, various others, Lion Eyes, and of course Don Henley, the lead singer, also sang The Boys of Summer, and Chris gave an excellent rendition of that. And the whole show ended with Desperado, which is a very pathos-filled song, which he did basically as a solo. Made the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. So all in all, it was a fabulous performance. At the end of it, myself and Lainey went and bought our T-shirt. I'm very proudly wearing my Talon T-shirt now, which I can demonstrate. The Talon, the best of the Eagles, since 1997. They're only very shortly into this tour, and they will be doing a lot more dates. Look them up on the internet. Look up the tour on the internet, and I can highly recommend that if they're anywhere near you, please do go and see them. They're coming back to Somerset in January. They're going to Yeovil, which we won't be going to, but they are also going to Taunton, which is only 10 miles from myself in the Brewhouse Theatre. We will be going back to that one. There's no question about that because they are that good. They are see them time and time again. No question at all. Just coincidentally, when I was in middle school, I actually sang in the Brewhouse Theatre myself. So I've actually performed at the Brewhouse Theatre. So a little bit of a crossover there. Myself and Lainey also went and saw the Acker Bilk when he was still alive in the Brewhouse Theatre. It's very good auditorium. So I'd recommend it if anybody's around for that one. Yeah, and one thing I did discover, I've been very theatre phobic in recent years, mainly because I haven't been to the theatre now for since before probably the 2020 debacle, and I was 21 stone, incredibly fat, and had IBS. So to sit through a sort of 2 to 3 hour performance back in those days was extraordinarily uncomfortable. Plus the fact that I was an alcoholic, and to sit there without a drink for all that time was a bit of a trial for myself. But the IBS is gone thanks to Carnivore. I no longer have my obscenely fat body trying to shove it into a tiny theatre seat. I don't have my huge gut hanging over my belt anymore, making me extremely uncomfortable. I don't have all the symptoms of IBS, which means gut pain. So yeah, I was amazed to find that my whole physical and mental attitude towards sitting in a theatre has now completely changed. And it's opened up a new door to me. Again, another door which I never expected to open again on Carnivore. But I'm looking forward to actually being able to go to some good performances in the future because I'm no longer theatre phobic. So that is another huge benefit of Carnivore, which I wasn't expecting. It's been an amazing journey. Mine and Lainey's journey is now very much intertwined. I have to maintain my health, and I have to help Lainey with her cancer journey. And Carnivore now is very much a part of that cancer journey, as it is with several other people around the country and around the world, indeed. Many of whom we know. So yeah, that is good news. The mainstream medical industry will still wish to push back against us, but we will go our own way, and hopefully we can have some influence in the future. If we support Professor Thomas Seyfried of Boston College, who is the world leader in treating as a metabolic condition versus a genetic condition. If you don't know Professor Thomas Seyfried, go and look him up. He's very active on YouTube. So there we go. We got an extra hour's sleep last night because the clocks went back from British Summer Time to Greenwich Mean Time, the daylight saving time scheme. I'm now kind of out of sync with my friends in the United States because I believe that theirs doesn't kick in until next week. So for the next week, I'm only 4 hours ahead of Eastern Standard Time. And that probably means that tonight, for those of you in the UK who are used to watching Sunday School Carnivore Sunday School, it is now called, at 6 o'clock. It's going to be 5 o'clock tonight, our time. So I look forward to that. I think it's going to be myself and John hosting tonight. I think Steph is busy elsewhere in the world, but it will be as much fun as always. And we have a fantastic MS story tonight. Diane Abbott, the Boston Carnivore, who has cured MS and no longer suffers from the symptoms of it. So that's well worth tuning into. So I look forward to seeing you there. And that pretty much brings us up to date. In my research at the moment is focusing on the history of allopathic medicine and J.D. Rockefeller and Andrew Carnegie's role in the Flexner Report of 1910, which changed the face of medicine towards what we now know as the modern medicine, which is reliant heavily on pharmaceuticals. I'm at initial stages at the moment, but basically allopathic medicine, that was how it took over. Downstream medicine, in other words, treatment rather than cure, management rather than cure. So that's going to be something which I'm looking forward to researching, and which you'll hear more of in the future. Okay, so that's it, ready for this week. Up to 25 minutes. I think that's plenty long enough for you to put up with me. So I'm going to end this, and I'm going to say that I will see you soon. Bye.